Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Hornby hobby. Now, we're getting quite close to finishing the big layout, and I want to talk about the things that I've learned while building it. I've got 10 points here, which I need to carry on into later life. So, the starter one is use hard standing in sheds and workshops. Now, what hard standing is where you make the tracks concreted in, or make it look like the tracks are a part of the surroundings. You see it all the time in real life. When you look at a workshop in real life, there's no sleepers, it's just the tracks concreted in, there's no way you're getting them up. You know? Because mine are ballasted, and it doesn't look that good. Because, you need, especially in workshops, you need pits so you can work underneath. You can't work underneath if the sleeper's in the way. So that's the one thing I need to do. Second thing, add glazing before securing buildings. The only building that's got the most glazing in is the engine shed. The station master's house, the small cafe, the big station, and the model railway exhibition hall haven't got any glazing in it. I've got glazing in the coach cafe because I've got some strips. So definitely add glazing. With the station master's house, it's not going to be too bad because the roof is removable. So I can stick it in. It's just going to be really awkward. But yeah. Point 3, check clearance between loco and building. Originally, I had the signal box too close to the track, and the front of the Flying Scotsman kept colliding with the corner that's the closest to the track. So I had to take it up and shift it over. So check your clearance. Make sure you've got enough clearance for a locomotive to swing around a corner, go down a straight, weave between the points. Whatever your locomotive's got to do on the track, make sure it's got the room to do it. Yeah, make sure there's room to swing a cat. Let's put it that way. Don't build up the ballast too high. I have made this mistake pretty much all over the place, where if you build up the ballast too high or it's too low, then you're going to get inconsistent running once you pin the track down, especially if you pin the track down too much. You'll get a bow in it, and then the wheels won't touch the track and it won't conduct properly. I've had it with a few locomotives, some more than others, but I go around, lever the pins up, and I shove some packers underneath the track. Then I pin it back down so it's level. And in some cases, I have had to take a chisel to the ballast. So don't build it up too high. Nickel track is best. At the minute, my track is a combination of both nickel and steel. You can definitely tell where, just looking down the rails now, I can see where the steel is compared to the nickel. But at the moment, it all seems to be working fine, just as long as you keep it clean. Next one is probably what I'm most guilty of. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I didn't plan any of this. Well, obviously, once I got the baseboard, I roughly laid the track out, then drew round it and thought, that's a good shape. Got it ballasted, pinned the track down. But, I've changed my mind regularly through this construction. Thinking, I'll put a set of points there, and, what would be good? Add in a bit there. You remember how I had the goods shed as the workshop? Originally, that was just going to be one line, and the other line just butted up to the building itself. Now I've made 2 tracks go into the workshop. That workshop building that I got from Mark's Models? That's now there, and it looks better. So now you can have the parts in there with the engine. So plan it. Try and practice on something. Practice on a piece of scrap. How does this look? Does this look good? Next one, the devil is in the detail. Now, there's one thing I love about model railways. It's when there's so much detail in there. I mean, when Mum and I went to the Belper Model Railway Club, there was one layout that stood out to me in particular, and that was called No Place. And it's like a double ingle-nock shunting layout. And there's so much detail. They've even got a list of stuff that you can find. So cats, dogs, hens, the TARDIS and the Doctor, and rabbits, butterflies. And you're scanning every little detail. Every time you look, there's something new to find. So the devil's in the detail. So now I want to be able to look over this layout, or for someone to look over this layout and say, oh, I didn't notice that before. You know. So I'm also hoping to kind of do what No Place have done, is add in a little hide and seek game, which is nice. Another thing, allow for expansion. You will change your mind. There will be something that you buy and you'll be like, oh, that would look really good on the layout, but where can I put it? Like, for example, I'm wishing I'd left enough space somewhere for a bridge. I mean, if I hadn't put the signal box there, I probably could have put a footbridge there next to the level crossing, so then you can cross over, but then it wouldn't really make much sense because then you'd just be on the road. You know, it's all about where you can and can't put things. I mean, if it wasn't for that pull under over there, I could have easily put several bridges over there and it would have looked great. Another thing, measure everything. Now, my work's in no means perfect. I mean, looking down these two lines here, past the Brucington station, the inner track is pretty straight, you know, it could be worse. But then when you look at the outer line, it kind of fishtails. You know, you don't notice it when you're down on the control booth. But looking down it now, I can see that there's a piece of track that's just kinked in. And it doesn't look good. So, my advice would be to measure as best you can from like the corner of the edge of your baseboard to the edge of your track. So like it needs to go over there, it needs to come back over here. Try and measure twice, fit once. And finally, this is probably the most important and crucial detail. Don't rush, because you make more mistakes when you rush, especially me. You try and get stuff done, you're like, oh, I really want to get this layout done so it can be finished and then it'll be done. Don't rush, because I rushed the ballasting and it ended up coming out horribly. I rushed quite a lot of the scatter material, it doesn't glue down properly. I rushed a lot of things. I mean, I would like it to be done for Christmas, ready for the new year. And then I can say this layout only took 3 years, 4 years, 2020, 21, 22, 23. So I want it ready by 2023, which will be 4 years. 4 years since I first got the train set. And looking at this now, it's way better than I ever thought possible. There are quite a lot of homemade touches on it. Like, for example, the coach shed where Annie and Clarabelle are. And, of course, any 3D printing that's been done. And, well, you'll know the homemade touches when you see them. Speaking of which, you may be wondering when we're going to be doing a reveal of the layout, because you haven't gotten to see the whole lot of it. I don't know. Because I know as soon as I do a video on it, going, oh, this is what I've done, I'll end up doing 20 more things to it. And then I'll have to do another video. So what I was kind of thinking is get it to where it's finished, but there's still stuff that needs to be added to it. I mean, I still want to add lights all over the place, and power, and sounds, etc. You know, I want to add lights in the coach cafe, in the workshop, in the engine shed, in the station master's house, in the Brucington station itself. Just really light it up, bring it to life. and add sounds and stuff. You know, people chattering on the platform, and the sound of cooking and whatever going on in the cafes. And, you know, even the sound of an electric train set going in the Model Railway Exhibition building. You know, there's still so much to do. Once I get it to a point where I'm happy enough that I can call it finished, but I can still do work on it to perfect it, then we'll do the reveal. Okay? So once I've got it near enough to finished, with the exception of a few bits and pieces, then I'll do a big reveal. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, always much appreciated. And don't forget, we are still taking requests for the running trains. You can choose your loco and your rolling stock and the track that we do it on. And of course, don't forget the shunting layout can be incorporated too. But in the meantime, that's that. So until next time, stay safe and thanks for watching.